Now this one is a $1 million question. I can see the Google search engine loaded with this question in different versions. Now all these questions are common, and the purpose behind asking all the questions is to know which equipment can help to achieve better results. Is it the camera or the lens? But this is not the process of deciding the camera and lens for any kind of photography. Depending on your photography style, you need to understand which part of the camera or the lens is more important to provide you with better results. Yes, the camera is a compound of different types of sophisticated components, and you must understand the fundamental importance of some of the major components of the camera and lens as well. If you want to discover which part is important for a better outcome for which kind of photography, like if you are a nightscape photographer, then it's not the lens that can give you the best results alone. To understand how far the camera ISO sensitivity can boost the light sensitivity without losing any quality, and the ISO is dependent on the camera processing and some other features of the camera as well. So you need to understand both. Another example is wildlife photography. In wildlife, sometimes you need a good amount of depth of field to separate the subject from the distracting ambience, but it doesn't mean you need DOF always. But the majority of photographers think they can only achieve a good depth of field with a higher aperture lens, but it's a wrong concept. There are other ways of getting a good amount of depth of field in photographs, and to know all these things related to digital cameras and digital lenses, we have designed this fast track assistance program, so you can understand in which circumstances you need to depend on which part of the camera or the lens. And when you choose the camera or lens using this knowledge, you can't choose the wrong equipment for sure. I am saying one more time, sharpness of the image is completely dependent on many different aspects of the camera and lens. Sometimes it depends on the light, sometimes on the processing, and sometimes on the sensor and the lens as well. It is not the camera or the lens alone which could provide you with a sharp image alone. A professional photographer must understand how individual lenses and cameras and their components work and produce fine results. You need to also understand how these equipments are interdependent on each other. Only then a photographer will be able to understand in what circumstances, using which part of the camera or the lens, they could achieve greater results. So if you really want to understand how you can achieve great depth of field or sharpness in your images, then start understanding the digital lens religiously. After finishing both the camera and lens sections, you will find many hidden and interesting things about both the camera and lens for sure, and you can use this understanding in photography as well to understand how to take the extreme advantage of the modern digital camera and lens technology to make your photography skills one step ahead of anyone you know.